Hello. Hey boys. It's a late night stream, but I wanted to fix some bugs. Actually, I've seen there were a lot of bugs in the previous stream when we were checking few things, like we were checking the inventory system, and there were a few bugs, and I didn't like it. So I want to fix those bugs. The first one I want to fix. First one I want to fix is the inventory one. You know that we have seen. I don't know if you were here in the previous stream, but we have seen that the inventory is not equipping the armor properly. That's pretty annoying. So we should fix that. It should be relatively easy to fix. The first thing I want to do, I want to test it again. Let me just switch the scene, otherwise you will still see. Okay, now you should see my screen now. and hear me as well. So let me just see if I should. I don't know if I want to advertise this stream or not. I don't know if it lasts a lot, but maybe we can. I think I can work for like 2 hours or so. I mean, not very long because now it's pretty late. Even if tomorrow I'm on holiday, so it's no problem at all. So yeah, let's advertise it like if it's a normal stream. Why not? Why not, boys? Why not? Why not? I will advertise it like if it's a normal stream. I will advertise a bit here. Sorry, I'm just posting this thing here and there. Posting this here, posting this here, posting it everywhere. Should I post it on Facebook as well? I mean, I just posted the one of this afternoon, but maybe yes. Why not? Hello, Lucy, 88. How are you today? How did you find me is the better question. How did you find me? So I'm just advertising on the other screen a few things, but I will be with you very soon, like 1 minute. I'm just posting. I'm just posting on Facebook, on Twitter, on Discord, and everywhere else. Why not? Okay, done. Okay, so we can start working a bit here, and I like the evening streams because one, I never did it so late, and second, because I can work with no rush, with no rush. So let's check this inventory part. So the fact that the inventory was kind of bugged, okay? So let's simulate it again first. So let's reconnect to the game and simulate the same bug. I think it will obviously happen. If you are new and you have any questions, please. Let's keep this interactive. We are streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So there may be people connecting from both sides, but on your screen you should see on the bottom right the chat. So if someone speaks, you should be able to see it even if it's on the other platform. It just has a small icon at the front. Okay, so let's connect. So what was not working was the fact that my armor was getting added properly but not removed properly. So if I add a piece of armor like my feet, which should be this one, no, boots, this one, right? You see that they change color, so the texture is properly applied. But if I remove it, this one, nothing happens. And it was working 100% in the past. It was working 100%. So what I want to see, first of all, let's check if by any chance we have an error somewhere, right? Or if we have a message anywhere. So it's saying move an item from slot 11 container -2 to slot 21 containers -1 stack count 1. So this one is the actual message of the move, right? Let me check if server side something is happening. No, the server is completely quiet. It's true that I didn't add I don't have, I think, the debugs, right? I don't have the debugs on for items. Log item, I'm at log level, so I can go to verbose level and maybe we'll see more. But before doing that, let me check this move. Why it's not reaching the server? So let's do this. Let's open my character blueprint, which is here, and let's search exactly for that message, because I think anyway that message is part of the blueprint. It's just a printout somewhere in our blueprint, so it should be, if it's not here, it's in player controller, but it should be somewhere. If it's not here, maybe in the code. Okay, no, it's here. Okay, it should be in the big graph where we manage. Okay, perfect. So let me just remember the containers, because it said that we are moving from container -2 to container -1. Okay, yeah, maybe I should name them, but -2 is my equipment, as you can see here, is inventory equipment, and -1 is inventory bulk. So it's actually sensing the movement the proper way, right? So it's sensing the movement the proper way. And so at this point, it should, after it's done that, it should just send it to the server, right? The send move item message is reliable, replicated to server, so it's going server side and is doing the send move item, right? The send move item is going here in our we're inside player controller, so it's going to our player controller on the server side. And if I search send move item in the current document, well, I can actually just click on top, but anyway, it's going here. It's going into handle slot movement inside slot manager. Okay, so pretty simply, we can go in slot manager and search our handle slot movement, which by the way is here, is one of the first ones, and log item log. So the first thing that should happen is that the server is printing this. The problem is that I didn't see it, which is interesting. What is the server log? No, it's printing it. Here it is. Why when I was checking the server I didn't see it? Okay, well, it was just above. Fine. Okay, anyway, it's saying slot manager until movement begins. Got slot movement message from a stacked one stacked item from container -1 to container -2. So all of that is good. It's saying proposing to move item chainmail boots armor from slot 20. Update inventory status for blah blah blah. Parent ID slot 10. Then it goes here. And is doing equipping mesh, equip resh mesh, default create mesh, set material texture ID 8, body part 5. So actually here it seems that it's doing the whole thing, bro. But but visually it's not working. Okay, let's see what happened, because we have a warning here, which is fail to find object static mesh none. Before create mesh. What is this? Before create mesh. I don't think you should create any mesh because we are removing the mesh. Before create mesh. It's pretty strange it's doing that. Is that on the client side? I mean on the blueprint side? Yes it is. So a keep item a keep, right? Wait. This one is the one where we put the item on, right? That is the one where when we put the item on, because it's from. I think I need to translate this -1 and -2 because it's so annoying. From -1 to -2. What did we say? -1. Yeah. This was from -1 is the bulk. Okay, -1 is the bulk. Let me just copy this thing 1 second because I think otherwise I will get confused continuously. So this one I think we can delete. Yes, we can delete. We don't need it anymore. So -1 and -2. Okay, so this is the one that is moving from my bulk to the inventory. So this one went okay. In fact, it tried to equip. It tried to equip it. Now, here is when we are doing the opposite. From -1 to -2. Right? No, here is still an equip. Why is saying that it's still an equip? Slot 27, slot 10. Why I did so many changes, so many movements? By the way, I could have done only one. Okay, so it was a bit easier to debug maybe. Okay, this one is when I remove it. Okay, from -2 to -1. So from equipment to bulk. Yeah, exactly. From equipment to bulk. So that is the one. Now proposing to move item chainmail brutes from armor slot from slot 10, updating inventory status, equipping mesh, de-equip. Okay, you see that here he understands he is de-equipping the thing. Now our de-equip seems is not doing anything else apart from resending the wall. The wall inventory, which is okay, but I remove the boots, which I have here, slot 20, inventory item, slot 20. Yeah, so actually removes them, but this function is not doing what it should do. I mean, our de-equip is not working as expected. Equipping mesh, update inventory status. Here we are still server side. I'm just trying to understand if this de-equip is printed. Yeah, it's printed here in this. Okay, so we receive the event from the server. And he's saying equipping mesh. Yes, which is this one. Now disregard this thing. I mean, this is because why is named like that? Because it's getting the mesh. Okay, this object doesn't have a mesh, so but it's fine because it only has a texture, so it's fine. So what it's doing is going here. He understands he has to remove it, right? and it goes inside equip item the equip. So we are inside of this. Now here we are casting to PS character, which I assume is 100% working. I mean, should work okay. Our selection is our selection. Switch on end. Wait a second. Right hand, left hand, helm. Why all of those are not connected? Holy moly. Why did I mess up something with did I mess up something with PS character? It's very weird. The price that this class I changed it a million times. I changed it a million times. So it's very hard for me to understand, when was the point where it break. But I'm well, I can watch one of my previous videos. That's probably the easiest. But I'm so because here, for all these ones, it's not doing anything. So why is not doing anything? Because it's not a physical mesh. Probably because it's not a physical mesh. Because here it seems that it's just set notified torso texture ID -1. Because here is just managing these cases. All the other cases are not doing anything. But it was working before, so this is what I'm really what I'm really confused about. You see, like on the equip, when we equip the stuff, we never tested the removal. Maybe we never tested the removal. That would be funny, actually. That would be funny. If we didn't, it never tested the removal, we assumed it was working. I mean, that's very weird. I tested the removal, we assumed. That's very weird. I mean, I can go. Where did I do that? I can go and check which kind of test I did at the time. Will be interesting to find, but I think is if I search a keeping a weapon, I think was I only have a keeping a weapon, or I also have something else. I don't see any other highlights. Oh, I see the keeping items on startup, but character creation, decals, character creation traits, keep item on startup. I don't know if it's this one, but Anyway, I think we never tested the removal. So I think that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Water volume, character improvements. Yeah, because here is doing a set notify, a set rep notify, and this one is a replicated notification of an object that is changing, right? And this one is going on wrap notify, for example, boots, right? And this one is setting the material. So this one is never happening, right? Because we are never removing it. Now, if I set it to -1, will it texture ID? Will it just default to the one in the base skin, or do I need to pass on? Yeah, I think I have a -1 here. Consider you say texture ID. If it's -1, I'm branching. No, I'm not doing anything. If it's -1, I'm not doing anything. Replace race for generic name. So because what it's doing here is actually replacing the texture. Let me understand what it's doing, because here we are replacing the texture. We are creating a new material and we are setting the material on the mesh. So I think it's something that is not revertible somehow. Yeah, here I'm setting the material. Yeah, I'm setting the material on the mesh. So once it's done, it's done. If I set it to -1, it will not work. So that's an interesting point. I think we never tested the removal. I cannot believe. I mean, I really would like to look at, one of my video and see if in any of these cases we were actually testing the removal, or maybe I just said in the video, now it's working and we will work on the removal later on. I don't know where I did the body parts, because I'm pretty sure here I did the items, right? I can try to open this one and see, but in 3 hours I don't think I did weapons. And no, this was the weapon work. Yeah, it was all the weapon work. So here I was only testing weapons and the rest of the stuff. So let me see if here I had already any armor pieces, but I don't think so. No, I was testing only that it was properly replicated both sides, right? Yeah. This was whatever, July 18. Okay. This was July 18. So it must be after that. Why a keep now is not showing anymore? Because it's not. So this one, character equipment startup, it can be this one. It can be this one. Even if here I was working on the startup code, just trying to see Here I was working on the startup code, and here we have some blueprints. I keep item on client. Yeah, exactly. I'm working exactly on that piece of code. And there's a lot of code. Now here, I keep an item based on the type, I rotate it correctly. I keep item on client. I want to see what when I do the notify, if I, by any chance, yeah, that's the piece of code. A keep item, perfect. So this is exactly where we were at that time. A keep item, a keep the keep, exactly. So what did I did after this? Did I ever tested this? Looking back, yeah, here I was checking the rep notify. I think I was learning about the rep notify. But here it was still only with items, you see. So I didn't use any. I was just keeping the meshes. I was never keeping anything else. Yeah, I was working only on the meshes. Only on the helm and the weapon. That's what I was doing. So here there was no. What happens? My browser froze. Still with me, boys? Okay, yeah. So in this video, we were still attaching and detaching from components. Yes, based only on. Okay. So it was a kind of a still of an earlier version. Yeah. So I think maybe I did it off stream. Could be, Could be that I did it off stream. But basically, up to here. So number 95 definitely was still with the old one. So replication of animations, and I did a bit of combat. I did that animation. I was doing looting monster, NPC fighting, chase, animations, rotations, movement, chasing, 3D item import. Character traits replication. Okay, I think it's here. It must be here. Character trace replication. Because the traits is exactly where. So we are at stream 108. I just want to see the code that we had at that time. I'm pretty sure anyway we never did it. It's a bit funny that we never did it, but if you think about it, with all the tests that I did, I never removed one armor. It's pretty funny. But it could be. I just want to find the place where I did it. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just I'm testing if the traits, but I don't see any traits on. Detach from component. Okay, this is exactly the code, right? So right hand, left hand. So here we had only those connected, and we had only those ones connected. And here the stream ends, and okay. So that is number 108. I think in 109 we kind of completed it. In 109, I think we completed that. I want to see when I put on and off the freaking armor. Okay, here I was coloring a specific weapon, which is okay. want to see the armor. At the moment, I'm still on items and skins for items. This is where I'm on. I'm working on that. All of this is not connected, by the way. Torso texture ID. There it is. Here we are connecting the torso texture. And we are actually connecting, creating the materials, all of that. Texture ID, calling or replicate torso. Okay, so we are doing all of that, which is very nice. So this is where when we built it. Okay. I think here is where it is kind of working. Yeah. Changing the texture. Okay, here we are in game, and I actually I have my first armor, you know, which is getting. Let me see what I say. I want the change to happen when I put the item on. Because this is when we are setting the material. At least the replication working somehow. I mean, we know the tricks, no? Yeah, bro, but you didn't remove it. We are good. So what we need to do? So item 1 and item 2 are basically done, right? Okay. Maybe we can expand this mission a bit, right? So this mission should It's pretty funny to speak with myself. Should have sub-missions, right? Sub-missions. So, will be done as well. I think I never did the removal. Okay. Because I think I stopped here too. Okay. So thanks for watching. Yeah, exactly. I stopped here. I did all the trades going on. So adding the items, but I never did the removal of the items because after this, it is 109. Well, actually, it's more than 1 year ago, but I don't think I worked more on character armor. Character armor. What is this? I think here I'm still on the same stuff. I just want to see if one time the removal works. Chainmail. I'm adding chainmail. It's not working yet. Okay. It was when removing it was still not working. I mean adding it was still not working. Yeah. Here I was still one step behind, bro. But I think I never removed it anyway. That is my feeling. I just want to see if I messed up something or not, but my feeling is that I never removed the armor. I mean, I never did the code that enables the removal and gets back your previous skin, because actually it should somehow register the fact that you had a previous skin, or we keep it in mind, or we get it from the race. Is the same. I think we can get it from the race, but for all those cases, and that's it. And the stream will end basically there. So okay, so let's assume that I never did it, which I think is true, by the way. And so as you can see, when I equip, which is this part of the code, I set it on. Yeah, so when I de-equip, I don't. All these cases are empty. So the server is saying, hey, can you please remove the torso texture? Okay, and I don't do anything. Well, actually I do set rep notify torso texture -1, but then this one is not going anywhere because, as we have seen, on torso texture, what is it? Torso texture on rep notify, if the texture ID is -1, if it's -1, we do nothing. So first thing first, I think we should print something here because there is a case that should never happen in theory. So I would say server asked to remove texture, right? Server asked to remove the texture. So this is what is happening, and we are not doing anything here. While what we should do, we should, let me see this one, what is actually calling. Set material and body part, texture ID, or rep texture ID. Yeah, I would like to see when I do it in character creation, because that's the important part. When I do it on character loading, actually. Do I call this? I think I call this. I think I cannot search it like this. Is this other one? Is the notify? Is this one? Set notify -1. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, exactly, and this is coming from a keep. So so it's only the server knowing which is the right. It's only the server that knows which is the right by item a keep, a keep. So this is coming from here, and here is the texture, which then I go and get a static mesh by path, assuming I don't have any static mesh. How do I decide which is the texture to apply? Torso texture, it is. Where is coming from? It's coming from here. It's coming from a keep texture. Okay. It's coming from here. So it's coming from here. And this one, and this one is coming. No. This one is called directly. This one is called directly from the server. Yeah. This event a keep item, I think, is coming directly from the server. Which is the one we have seen before, right? Let me see if I can find this. A keep item. A keep item. I need the keep item. Yeah, display visual parts of the inventory on client. So there is the piece of the code which is actually calling, and this one should be a blueprint function, hopefully. No. Yeah, it's this one, a keep item. Yeah. It's this one. It's a blueprint function which is passing this stuff through. So how do I know when I remove an armor, which is my basic texture. How do I know? How do I find out? So should I store it somewhere client side? So we just send a -1 and we just replace the basic texture, or do we want to do something different? Do we want to re-keep the race? Do we want to? Because in theory, no, actually, it's even worse than that, because in this part of the code, we are just keeping the items that are on top. Exactly. So here I'm keeping only the ones. I'm going in an impossible place. At startup and never again. So that's the mistake. Well, not the mistake. I mean, that's the leftover. You know, that's the leftover, because it means that when the character is loaded, you know that I don't know where that happens. I think it happens. When I load the basic character. I think I load it in the blueprint directly. When I load a new blueprint, like this crane character, he has this skin, you know, which is the basic skin, but this skin doesn't tell me if creation. I think we save it as traits. Like if in character creation I select a different skin. Let's try. I want to understand if I did something on that or I didn't. I think I didn't. I think all that part is missing. So I think we have another missing part, but let's see. So if I load my client, assuming that I have at least another skin loaded for the crane, but I think I do. I think it's getting saved as a trait. The problem is that if it's the basic skin, I think I don't save anything. This is not an easy problem to solve, actually. I thought it was simpler. I thought it was just a simple bug that we forgot something, you know, but it's much bigger, actually. It is much bigger. So if I create a new character and I select Cran, can I choose another skin? Uh-oh, it froze. So the answer is probably no, or it's just taking a lot of time to load a new skin. Okay, just taking a lot of time to load a new skin. But this is a good example, you know, because it means that this character will not have the base skin, but will have this one. So if I do this, what happens? I don't think I can save it because I already have 4 characters. I need to delete one. I need to delete one character because the maximum characters you can have per account is 4. And I reached the limit. Why there is this limit, I have no idea. But we designed it this way a long time ago. So let me delete whatever. This Carele Bunare, this one I don't think I need. Delete. Confirm the character by entering your password. Okay. character had been deleted. So I need to relog. I need to log out, log in, and I should see one character less. So now the important point will be to see if I'm writing anything in the traits table, because this guy, I don't think he has traits. I can go and check, but I'm pretty sure that this guy, if I go under character traits, I don't think he has any traits. Exactly. He has nothing, you see? He has nothing. If I go and create a new character and I name it and I switch, okay, now it's super quick, and I use this one, this sandstone thing, and I do upload. I don't know why it's saying this, but anyway, I uploaded the character, and my character is actually this color, so it's working okay. And I want to see if I have, but for sure I think I have some traits in the database. My character is 154 maybe, let's hope. Let's see if 154, yes, it's a new character we just created. So yes, he has a new trait, so the trait is actually set, and is a trait 280, which probably has a kind of a cascade effect on all the other parts of the body. So I think it's fine. So this part is working okay, but you know, this kind of information I don't think is stored anywhere apart from, I mean, it's obviously stored here in the traits, okay, but when I remove an armor, I should go back and check what is the base texture of my character. Now the issue is that if it didn't select, it selected the default skin, we don't even have an entry here, so we don't even have an entry inside that table. I could force, but I don't think they even exist. I don't think a trait even exists. Let me see. Character traits. The traits table. If I take the traits table, right? And I search my... now here will be... there are 1 million. But if I search the one applicable skin tone, yeah, the same for the Yankee. The Yankee have the same thing. Very strange though, because it should have skin tone 270. So if I don't select anything, it should at least get the trait 270 in the database. Why that character has nothing? Why that character has nothing? I don't know, maybe it's leftover from the past? Could be. Because in theory it should have had here this trait the same way I have it here. Could be an old character. But okay, fine. So let's say that. But anyway, it works the same way on this guy. I think if I keep something, an idea keep, it will not work anyway. So if I spawn, if I do /item chainmail torso armor, and I put it on the torso, is appearing here, but then when I remove it, it's not removing it. And So even if I have the base skin, because basically the point is, let's tackle one problem at a time, okay? So let's tackle one problem at a time. So let's assume that we have the trait in the database, like in this case. So the 0 has the basic trait. So we should basically read the basic trait and set it. Now, how do I read the basic traits? I don't know if I have a function, but I have it for sure because this was working before. So when we were removing, when you were removing the armor, I think we can check the old code when I was moving, but I'm not sure that this will work. This will be the same. Here I'm in slot manager, right? No, I'm not in slot manager. It is in character load. But if I go in slot manager, when I handle the slot movement, let me search slot manager and the slow movement in the old code. In the old code, I want to see this. The code with a white background is the code of the old game made with another engine, and the one with the black background, which is this one, is Unreal Engine. Okay. Just for your information. Okay, so we have here the code, which should be like one to what I ported. Now, the point is move from inventory equipment. Okay, so this one should be the function that is managing exactly. In fact, it's proposed to move item from slot, blah blah blah, right? So it's not a container, so all these parts should not be relevant. Should be a container equipment. Get the destination slot of the message, blah 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 blah. So there was also this thing that I think we don't have. I think we don't have. Do we have that in the old code? I mean, in the new code. Let me see. I think it's probably commented out. Holy shit! There's so much code in here. Yeah, we have this part of the code. We have it. Basically, from here down, when it says at this point we are sure that everything is working okay, right? It is when it's doing the actual change. And it's basically doing this inventory update. It's doing inventory update. Now the problem is that character inventory keep, okay, fine. Here we are pretty deep into the code, but send out a keep message. Let me see. Okay, let me see in the old code how we was doing this, because I think that here is where we have the hang up. I think here is where we have the problem. Update inventory status. If is a keep and on in character, inventory and a keep. Do we have the same code here? No, we changed it. No, wait a second. Update inventory status. I want to go here first. Okay. Yes, we have update. We have inventory and a cape. Inventory and a cape, and inventory a cape. Okay. Okay, fine. But I don't know if this is actually going client side. I mean, it must. It must go client side. Yes. So it goes client side there in the new code. So in the old code, is doing send out equipment messages, deequip. Okay. And here I'm doing pretty much the same stuff, with the difference that obviously here I'm sending it to here I'm sending it to Unreal, and here I'm sending it to the client. So send out the key messages. Let me check what it's doing here in the old code. I think it's just preparing the message probably and sending it out. So let me see how we propose the message. Multicast proximity is a PS equipment message that is getting sent to all the clients in range, right? That is getting sent to all the clients in range. So now what I would like to know is when this message is received, there it is. I think we are here. Handle equipment. So when this message is received from the client, we are still in the old code here, okay? But when this message is received, what the hell happens? Got equipment actor. Got equipment for actor slot name. Replace all if mesh. If mesh has a dollar means there is a helm. Okay, here is doing basically all of this. We're doing blueprints now. But I want to understand what he was doing when he was removing a piece. You know, that is what I'm trying to understand. He's replacing all this stuff. He's doing character appearance, deequip. Okay. I think this part we don't do in Unreal, obviously, because we decided to do it completely different, because it has to be different. But I want to see what it does when he removes something and it goes basic to the basic texture. It is only for bracers, so we don't care. The show meshes, I'm not fully sure what it does. Clear equipment. Is removing it fully and then is adding it back fully. There is a part mesh that set the default mesh for that part. Default mesh. So it's doing two things. If there is an actual mesh that has to be removed, it's clearing the equipment, is detaching it. I don't see. Change material, default material. There it is. I think it's this thing, you know. It's going back to the default mesh and it's going back to the default material. There is the function that is somehow doing what we need to do. Do we have this class? Do we have this class in Unreal or not? This PS char appearance. Okay, we don't have it. So this whole class is not ported, right? So this whole thing is not ported to Unreal at the moment. Because it's the client side of it. Yeah, and I redid it. So basically, default material. What is doing is doing skin tone set get size. So he has a kind of an array that he keeps for kind of an array that he keeps for holding the original appearance, I think. But skin tones. I think we have to do the same. I mean, something similar to that. Because if this is the part, you know, if he's saying if this is the part that we need to change, then change the material to that. And then he's saying something even more drastic. If I didn't find any skin tone in my database, then just revert to the state factory, which I guess is the, you know, the original mesh. Okay. I think this part we never did. We never did, and we have to do. We never did. We never did, because I don't remember doing this kind of reasoning on the character, and I don't remember discussing about this part of the code, so we never did this. Okay. Okay, so we have to do this. How do we do it? Good question. Where is that guy? That guy went away. Now that I needed him, where did he go? Oh, I went there. Or it's me that I went here. Maybe it's me. Because they move sometimes. They have some basic... okay. Hello, man. So, the point is not this. The point is that we have this guy, which is our basic mesh, and then we have this other guy. Unfortunately, is turned the other way, but it's okay. And these two people. So what I need to do, I need to store. You know, I need to store the. I need to store the default factory skin. So maybe what I can do, which will be the easiest, you know, is to store it on the client side, which I think anyway, even if it's getting hacked, who cares? I mean, if someone wants to see his skin differently, no one else will see it differently. So I think it's fine. So I think we can store client side just to avoid, you know, one message server to client. So we can store client side this, and when we do it, well, we do it when we load the character, because when we load the character, we have that. Because I think we work incrementally, so we load the basic skin, and then on top of the basic skin, we equip the different pieces, right? And I think we need to have the default and the skin tone. We have to have the default, the factory state, and the skin tone on top. Now, how do I? Where in the code I do that loading thingy? I think it should be inside PS character loader. Well, it should be inside PS character loader, I think, because I think here somewhere, because here when I load my character, by the way, it should work also for NPC, because the NPC have the same thing. So in theory, they could remove an armor. The armor could break, and so it should be generic. It should be generic. Load all NPC character data. Load character data. So I think I do this. I spawn the basic actor, and then on top of that I load all the traits. I think that is what I do, right? The problem is how do I store, how do I read the basic skin of my characters, because I will have like to go back to my default guy, you know, this guy, the default guy. I mean, I will have to read these variables here. The problem is that they have been changed in the meantime. So I have to store them before they getting changed. And to store them before getting changed, I think is somewhere in this part of the code. Because here I'm spawning a new actor. I think should be on the construction, on the constructor. On the constructor of my actor. Or in the begin play. Now I don't know when, so okay, let's go step by step. So here I spawn the actor, and I'm assuming that at this point I'm just giving the basic mesh, so the basic race. So he's spawning the character as it is in the blueprint. So he spawns this thing exactly with this color, right? Then after that, what I do, I go and load the stuff. So I load all his character data. I think inside his load character data is where I'm applying the traits. I'm pretty sure. I remember it's here somewhere. There should be maybe at the bottom. It's not at the beginning, but it's somewhere here at the bottom. There is a load traits. I'm pretty sure. Load spells, experience, blah blah blah, MPC, visibility. Should be here somewhere. Maybe I passed it. Inventory, I think it should be before. Load traits, there it is. So here we are loading the traits. So the problem is that this loading is just modifying the basic. It's modifying the basic, adding on top the traits that we have. That is not an easy problem to solve. I think the construct, you know what I can do? The problem is that when I load the traits, okay, let's do step by step, otherwise I will never do it. In my PS character, right? In my PS character, which is working for every single character in the game, right? I have a construct somewhere for sure, no? I should have a construct. Event graph is here. I don't have a construct. Come on. I have a begin play. But begin play, I don't know if it's getting called. I want to know construction script. What is this? Construction script is empty. Is this the default one? No, isn't there an event construct? I'm getting confused now. Isn't there a standard event which is construct, right? Construct event, no? Come on. voice. Is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Why I cannot add it here? Because it's a basic. Because I'm in PS character. Construction script. There is this construction script as a default. But I was pretty sure there was a thingy. No? No, there is always a separate. Maybe they changed it in the latest version. So there is no more a construct event, but there is a construction script by default everywhere. Yeah, I think so because I'm confused. But I think it's here anyway. I think it's here. So this one is getting called, when the character is constructed. Now, I don't know if it's getting called before or after, but we can test it. This will be called server side and client side, right? Yeah, would be called on both sides. Now, the point is if I want to save the texture ID, so the only thing I need to save the texture IDs before they are getting changed by armor. So, and I want to save it for each location of my character. Now the point is that this character has certain pieces, another character has different pieces. Like for example he has wings, and the wings obviously they also have the base texture. I mean the wings will not get an armor, but maybe the tail will. So it should be done by character. I can do it by character. I can have a different array based on, well, by, no, wait. We can do it generic. Because anyway, the locations are fixed. The locations are fixed. The locations are always these 14 locations for everything. So there is no possibility, at least at the moment, that we get. So even on a monster, there is no arms, no legs, no head, no whatever. It will have at least the torso, right? So if I store for every if I have an array that stores for every location the default texture, I think I will be fine. So I think I need to store on my PS character. I'm not sure if it should be done on the construction script or it should be done later on. Potentially I could have a very simple array replicated after this load. So when I load, so I could have one additional line here, which is PS character loader. I think everything goes through this, right? Everything goes through this. I don't know if monsters are going through this as well, but I think they do. So after I spawned it, I could save in an array here all the traits of this guy. I don't know exactly how, but I will basically have to read all the meshes and I will have to navigate the mesh structure, search inside a mesh all the sub meshes, and for each one I'm gonna save the texture, a texture reference. I think I can save a texture reference or something. Because it's like if I open the legs, right? and inside the legs here I'm reading this material slot, this one. This is the one I need to read. And I'm saving it somewhere. Then when I change my, then when I load the skin, I do the same. So yeah, I think I should do it here. The problem is, where do I store it? And how do I store it? I can store it inside character data, or I can store it purely on the client, because actually the server doesn't care about this. The server doesn't care which kind of skin we have as a basic skin. So the server doesn't care at all. You just need to send to the client, because if the client disconnects anyway, the information is lost. But it's okay if it is lost, because the next time you will load this guy, it will send it to the client again. So every time you load, you go through this code. So every time you select a character and load it. So I think there is no possibility of doing mistakes if I put the code on the client side. Now the problem is that this here on the server side, I do the spawn, and the spawn is loading the basic texture. Then I'm doing the load, and in the load I'm setting the traits. And when I'm setting that, I could do it there. When I set the trait, but I need to know is the first loading, because if I don't know is the first loading, I'm dead. So I load the traits, right? I load the trait because the character at this point is already spawned, right? So it's already in the 3D world. Is it? Yeah, because I spawned it. Yeah, I think so. So here I'm loading the traits. I'm going trait by ID, blah blah blah, and I set the trait for location. So here is where I think I'm probably sending the information to the client. It seems not. It seems not. Since I'm not sending it here. I'm not sending it here. I'm sending it only when I'm sending the inventory. Really? Display visual parts of the inventory to client. So here we are sending for each slot, but we are sending it only if there is an equipped item, We are not sending it if, I'm a bit confused. If I'm this guy and I'm quitting the game, does the thing show up properly? Does my skin show up properly the next load, even if it's not an equipped item? Because I don't understand when I'm sending it then. Let's see if it shows up properly or not. It should, but I think it will. But It's loading. It's loading up. It's taking a lot, I don't know why. Yeah, it shows up properly. It shows up properly. Found race, you see this found race, mesh cran, calling on rep set material texture 2, 40 body part, you see all of this? So it's reading. The question is, where is doing this? I think it's in the. I think I have a message now. I don't remember, but I did it already. I think for sure there is a message that asks the basic information for the character creation, and then it's spawning exactly that character. So I think if I go under UI and I go under main menu and I go under character selection, and which is this one, and I check what happens when I click on one character. No. Interesting, this one. Set mesh race name for later usage. Okay, keep visible item. 5 proper race mesh and spoil its line side. If there is already a character on the pod, remove it first. Find a proper race mesh and spawn it line side. You see, that is where we are doing the thing. Character traits. Here it is. Contains the visible traits. Okay, so that is the structure that we get. Now, I just would like to know if this one contains also the defaults. For sure it doesn't, but traits, set traits. For each, set traits. So for each loop, set trait is going here and is setting face, beard, style, skin tone. So for example, skin tone is the one we are doing now. Scanning the texture row. Okay, row name. Where is coming from? Mesh ID. It's checking all the body parts and is setting these values. Is setting this value on the body part and is setting the color of the body part. So, but this means that the trace that is coming in is full. Otherwise, it would never work, right? So it means that I'm sending here the full set. And then this one is going exactly here, right? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay, good. I think we are on the right road. So this set trait. The only problem is that you cannot navigate back in this freaking thing. Is I don't know why. Why they didn't make it that you can navigate back to where you were. Now it will take me forever to find it again. Yeah, because it was in the widget actually. Yeah, okay. So it was here. So the set traits, it should be coming already correct from select car array entry. I think this one is getting populated when I load the window. Exactly. Let me find the references of this. When do we set it? We just get it from it's impossible that we never set it, so it should be set somewhere. Because I think that is the place where we need to set. Okay, set here. Character list entry. Okay, in reality is this one. The variable that we want. The variable that we want is this one. Character list entry. This one should also be set somewhere, hopefully, or sent to me by the server. Okay, here it is. Add item to chart list. Okay. Entry to add. And this one contains already our traits, because this has the traits here, you see. So I'm just tracing it backwards. Event chart list entry has changed. Pre-game editors. Pre-game helper target character list. Okay, so in our pre-game helper, now I'm starting to remember, because this thing was done really long time ago, and it was one of the first things that we did. In our pre-game helper, right? We must have the list of all the characters to be loaded. Request chart list, server request chart list, populate chart list. There it is. Populate chart list. Select blah blah blah. Add to character list the character present in the player account. Add equipment to the list. Add traits to the list. Yeah, so here I forced, so only for the character selection, I basically reloaded. Select trait ID from character trait with character ID equal to 1. But you know, no, I understand. So here I'm reloading. I'm reading again all the character traits, and I'm setting them into this variable, which then is sent to the client, and we do all the work. Okay, that's pretty clear to me. So actually, even from the basic skin to the modded skin to the skin tone, we transition this way, which is fine. And so we have in our traits array the new traits we need to apply, and in case it's a full skin tone, is for all the character. I'm struggling a bit to understand. Just to explain you, right? Just to explain one thing. So, assuming someone is listening. So, there is the base skin, which is the one that I have in my blueprint, okay? Then, two things happen here. One is that I'm loading the skin tone, which in this case, as you can see, is a guy that is brown instead of blue. Right? Let's call it skin tone brown. In reality, is sandstone. Okay, let's call it sandstone. And then something else happens, which is to load the armor, right? So there is another thing that happens, which is loading the armor, right? In this particular case, is only on the torso, but obviously it can be anywhere, right? So the point is that when I remove the armor, right, I need to go back here, and I don't have to go back here, obviously, otherwise I will have a character with the wrong skin. So the point is that if the character is blue, I mean is the basic skin, he has no traits set, right? And that is what is the hang up a bit here. So, but we can try to solve it first for the character that has traits, which is this one. So basically the code is sending to the client the traits, just reading them from the database. But we can do better than that, because after the character is loaded, we have them in our traits, right? We have them in our traits. So sorry, it took me a bit to actually do all the run round of this thing, but I really needed to refresh my mind on how it was working. So now I think that the only thing that we can do is, I mean, the thing that we should do is pretty simple in reality, at least for the sandstone guy. For the sandstone guy, I can go to my PS character, and I'm pretty sure I have a get trait function already there, or get all traits. I don't know. I mean, there should be right. No. Well, we can search it here. If I search traits without any. Okay, the set trait on rep is something else. There is load traits, and there is traits which is actually already replicated. Which is very nice. So in theory, we already have. The problem is that the linkage. The problem are the linked traits, but I don't know if this is actually populated. But we can see. We can do a test. But these two variables are already replicated, which is very, very nice. Which is very, very nice. Because it means event set linked traits on rep. Okay. And is setting the trait on the character. Okay. The problem is that this set trait. But I think it's fine. I think we have it, boys. I think we have it in that two variables, in traits and linked traits. These are the two array we should use. So going back to our problem, I think I finally close to a solution. Going back to our problem, when I do the equip, and we said that when I do the de-equip, the removal, right? When I do the removal, and I set the rep notify. So in all these cases, I think I can keep the -1, and I think that in all these cases, mainly, let's say, torso for sure, legs for sure. So here I should do set notify Can I get the set notify of that stuff? I should do set legs texture. Set legs to texture ID. Okay, perfect. So I do it for the legs. I do it for the boots. I do it for all the others. I do it for the arms. And I do it for the hands. The hands should be, I don't know, because the hands you see is right hand, left hand, both hands, but I have hands. I think I should do it for left and right. I can do it only for one actually. When I remove, I don't know. When I remove, I have no idea. When I remove gloves, if it's coming here with a selection 2, or is coming here 2 times with 1 and 0, that I don't know. We will see. Let's not care too much about the gloves now. I think it's probably gloves. It's number 9. Sorry, it's number 9. Gloves. Okay. This should be set hands. No. Set gloves texture. Okay, perfect. So we have them all, right? We have torso, legs, arms, gloves, and boots. No, I'm missing the head. I'm missing the head and also the eyes in theory, but the eyes. Why don't I have a location head? We have the location helm. Well, but this is not needed because when I remove the helm, I cannot put an armor on the face, right? I can, yeah, exactly. So it's good like this. These are the only pieces they can change texture based on the armor. So these are good. So all of them, I will put them to -1. So which for us -1 is remove the texture, right? So reset the texture to the base trace texture. So I think I can do this. And it is fine. Then after I do this, I go into the other unwrap notify, right? This will pass -1, right? Will pass -1, and so here we are, right? Here we are, where we place this print string. So the server has to remove a texture. So now we have the location of the body part, so we know which body part it is, and here we should have our traits and linked traits. Now the question that I don't remember is how to read those two, because actually the linked traits is a bit of a mess. Let me say traits is not here. Uh-oh. Wait a second. Why is not why the traits are not stored? We don't store them, we just set them. That could be. No, but we said they are replicated, so boys, we said U property replicated using unwrap set traits trait. So this means that this is replicated, right? Or is just triggering the replication? It should be replicated. So I should find, and I'm on PS character, right? So I mean, to me, it should be replicated for sure. What is the freaking method? The one where you have the replication stuff. It was like unwrap something. not on rep. Was like on load. No, it was like on something. It was, you know, the one that where you save. I need to say. I don't. Blah, blah, blah. I think there was. Where is that thing? There was like, I don't remember the name of the method, but it's like something like rep ops something. Replicated variables. C++. What was the name of that thingy? Get lifetime replicated props. Okay, I don't know why they called it this way, but that is the thing I'm searching. Get lifetime replicated props. Yes, we have traits and linked traits replicated. So they should be available on the client. So they should be available here. I'm inside PS character, right? I'm inside PS character. So if I'm inside PS character, why trace doesn't show up? Where I was here. Traits. Get character traits. Read the variable. No. Link it trait. Boys, why is not showing up? It's not this one. And it's not this one. Because this one are on character creation. Do I need to put a method? Do I need a method to? I think I need to put a method. If I don't have a method, because let me check, for example, full name, right? If I don't have a method to read it, I will never be able to do get full name, right? Well, actually, I have a function. No, I need to make a function. It's not exposing this thing. Is not exposing you a variable on the blueprints automatically. You need to make an accessor for it. Okay, you need to make an accessor for it. And at the moment, I think that I don't have it. I don't have an accessor function exposed to blueprints, which is sending me, which allows me to read the traits and the linked traits. Why I don't have it? Because I was just setting them when the server was sending to me, and that's it. Yeah, I think it's correct. Hello guys, by the way. Hi, anyone there? Anyone alive? I see people connected. Speak up. Okay, so we need to create two accessors for this for these two thingies. Okay, we can even, yeah, I think it's good. I think we can create one for each. Linked traits and traits. Let me just be 100% sure that I don't have them, but I don't think I have them. I don't think I do. There is a set, but there is no get. Okay, so in the same way we did it for full name. So if I do get full name, what? Okay. No, but this is not it. is called get character name. Yeah, get char name, get char full name. These are the functions. So get char full name, exactly. So this one is accessing my full name, which is replicated. Exactly. Okay. So I'm starting to. Takes me a bit, boys, but at the end I do it. So you search this. I think it's just here. Exactly. So I need to do the same, exactly the same. Can I put it here? Yes, I can put it here for sure. I can put it here. I will do two functions. They will be called get traits. I hope it doesn't. Well, I don't think they exist. And get linked traits. And these ones will anyway work also client side because we have the replicated properties. Hello, Uncle Tusky. No, you can distract me. Absolutely. So we will return traits and we will return linked traits. Come on. Intelligence. You can do it. Okay, did it. And this one. Okay, just tell me that it's not compatible. It's fine. The reason is that we have this. It's the same for both. What the hell? I didn't copy it for some reason. I did not copy it, boys. Okay, so something like that. Very simple. Bottom PS character. And so we go and we are able to read what are the basic traits of our character. Okay. Now, let me just compile and save. I have to close the editor, I think. Yeah, do a checkout, it's fine. Okay, so we close this. Don't save that. So we recompile. So I guess you are from US, Uncle Tusky, given the time, which is 3:37 a.m. here. You are. Yeah, when I decided to start the stream this evening very late, I said, yeah, maybe there will be some US guys. Yeah, I did another stream earlier. I did a 2020 plans stream that I will summarize in a video. I will do a video like 10 minutes summarizing a bit of what I said in that long video. And I will load it on Patreon, I think. You said it was a generated something, but generated something open, but those generated files should not be open here. It happens that sometimes when you debug, you open stuff that you don't want to open, and this is probably the case. Don't see it though. No idea. Ah, it is PS character gen. Yes, this thing is. You should not load in Visual Studio. It's just messing up. I'm working on. So basically, the problem is that when you remove a piece of armor, it doesn't go away visually. I mean, everything server side is working okay. It's even saving in the database that you don't have the armor equipped anymore. But visually, it doesn't go away. And the reason that it doesn't go away is pretty complex because I was explaining, as I was explaining here, you load a base skin for the character, then you apply a skin tone, and then you apply the armor. And it seems that at the moment that kind of skin tone or basic skin are not considered when you go back and you remove the armor. So the armor is never going away. And this is what I'm trying to fix, because we did the equip. So when you put on the armor, when you wear the armor, it works. When you remove it, it doesn't. And no, I know exactly why. I'm just trying to find a way to fix it. I know exactly why, but and the why is just because I never implemented that piece. So it's very simple. I never implemented properly the removal of an armor, which is actually only a texture, to be changed back to the base color of the skin. Never did it. So the code is not doing anything. So it's doing nothing. It's doing nothing. So when the server asks that, is here. So we are doing nothing. Is empty. And the fact that it's empty. So here now I should do. So if I do my get traits, please. Okay. Now I have the two functions. Very nice. So I have the get traits and I have the get linked traits. Now we need to understand how to use those two things though, because the point is that the point is that the linked traits by themselves. Let me see the structure for a second. So a PS trait is made of all of this. Wow. Well, we actually have a lot of information. We have, I think we have all we need. We have the material ID, the texture ID, the mesh ID. So I think our guy coming here, so this thing, so the texture ID and the body part ID. The body part ID, I think, should be the ID mesh. No, the ID mesh is when you're going to change it. I think it's the location. Holy shit. We need to convert the location. Why we have an ID and not the location coming in? Bro, that's so annoying. We have the location, which is a nice enumeration with all our stuff. No. No. Unfortunately not. Here is not easy. This thing, this thing is not easy. This one is identical to this, so is the same. It's exactly the same as this. So this is the information we have. So how the hell we know How the hell we know that linked trait goes on the torso? I think I'm missing something. Trait ID 31. No, no, wait. Trait ID 280. Okay, 280. 280 is saying, okay, the next trait is 181. Who cares? Race ID is very nice. It tells me that it's a skin tone. It tells me that the name of the skin tone is sandstone. It's telling me there is a mesh 14. I think it's this one that we are using improperly, but it's this one. Mesh 14, 14, 16, 17, 15. Let me just check one thing, but I don't think it's this. No, it's not this list because 15 does not exist. So do we derive it only from this? That's pretty bad, bro. I don't like this. So it means that we need to derive the location from this string. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. Let me open up again. I don't believe this. I think I'm missing something. I'm missing something. I feel I'm missing something. So when the traits arrive, okay, I do set traits. And I pass in the trait. Okay, but I already have the function, so GG, I can just call that function. Now I want to understand how it does it though. It's using the ID mesh to get it from here. We have it in a table somewhere. I don't know. We have it in a weird place. Okay, fine. Okay, but we have the function already, so we should do nothing else than call this function. Just call set trait with the trait you want to change, bro. But fuck no, we have a problem because I can do set trait with the trait, but I don't know which trait. I don't know which trait. That is annoying. Well, I can search. I know the texture ID. This is a mess, bro. I need. So what I'm searching in the get data table, I'm searching a row name with the mesh ID. I have to do the same. I have to do the same. And then when I have the texture, there is a problem here. There is a problem. I don't know how to solve. I need to derive. Let me check this thing. dt textures. I need to do it in the opposite way, in the opposite direction. dt textures. So there is the ID Ah, but I have it here, eh? Head, torso, arm, hands, legs, foot, and wing. This will never change anyway. So if I hard code it, I don't care really. I think I can just, you know, I can just switch based on this. I think I will never change them in my life. Well, I don't know. Maybe I will. But because my point is only to know which is the trait I need to pass to this, and to know it, I just need to use this mesh ID to get the trait that corresponds to the body part ID. Fuck it, why didn't put it the same? Yeah, so body part ID is actually from 1 to 14, while this thing is completely different. So I need to make a match. Do I want to do it also? To do it very, very, very dirty, I can have just a switch here based on the numbers and redirect to I have to do a for loop though. I have to loop on all the traits and search for the ID that corresponds. This ID should be the same of the ID that is coming in body part. Not the same, but anyway, it should be mapped to the ID that is coming from body part. In that case, it will work. It's very annoying. It is very annoying. Is there a better way? No, because I want to reuse this function, you know. I don't want to redo this function in any way, so I want to just reuse this. I would just want to reuse this. Actually, it's this piece. No, wait a second. It's not that piece. What the fuck is that piece? Actually, it's only this. So I could copy this piece. Well, I think I can do it. I think I can copy. I mean, it's a bit of a copy paste, but it's only this part, no? So I just get the row name. I have the mesh ID. The row name. I have the row name. No, I have the body part ID. But the body part ID I can match to my thingy. Yeah, because this one is again from 1 to 14. I need to match it with the other numbering. Then let's assume that I match it somehow. So I know that I have to load the number 14. Then I go in Dix texture. No. But no. Wait one second. Wait one second. Wait one second. Can I derive it from the texture ID? No, I cannot. I cannot derive it from the texture ID. No, I cannot. I cannot. Set material on body part. Okay, let's try to rationalize this because I'm losing myself. So set material on body part is getting an input right? Which unfortunately is this shit. I know, is hard coded. Maybe I should remove this hard coding, but it's getting, yeah. Body part ID is hard coded to get better performances. The drawback is that we need our character BP to have to mesh in the same sequence. The sequence is okay, bro. I did it this way. I don't know if it's really for a performance reason or just because I was lazy. But anyway, that is the thing. So the server is saying you remove the armor from the torso and it's sending us a 0. Now I need to map this one with I need to find in this array. I need to find in this array here what is the trait which corresponds to my body part. And what I know is that CS string ID mesh. What I know is that CS string ID mesh is equal to I need another paint. Is equal to this in my data table, right? So if I somehow map, these two, well, the best would be that I use the same numbers actually, right? That would be the easiest, but I didn't do it this way. Can I do it this way? In theory, I could, because if I change my database to have the numbers that goes from 0 to, the problem is that I have to change the whole database, bro. I have to change a lot of these things. I don't know if I want. Maybe it would be the best thing though. Otherwise, I need to do something like that. I need to say, okay, torso goes on torso, head goes on head, arms goes on arm, gloves goes on hand, legs goes on legs, boots goes on foot, and wings doesn't exist. But I need to do this kind of mapping, so 0 goes to 15 and whatever. So when I do that, so I could do kind of a switch, between one and I can do a switch. So I can take this, which is my body part ID. He's going here. Yeah, it's going down there. Okay, let's take it from here. Bloop. I can do a switch on int, and my body part ID is the one that I showed you before, right? Is this thing. That is switching on string. I don't know why, but set material on body. But here it seems that it's taking this, it's putting the right number based on that, and then it's using set material on body part, giving back this number. What the hell, bro? I think I'm starting to be too tired and I'm starting to confuse myself. Like set trait is calling set material on body part. And set material on body part where is it setting the freaking texture? Where is it? Where is it, boys? Is here, right? Is this thing, right? Set material, get material by path. So it is the case in which there is, yes. So I need to arrive in this. I need to arrive here. Okay, so I need to arrive here, right? I need to connect to this thing where my path is the one that I got from the data table based on the ID. We are back to the same issue. So yeah, exactly. So I need to arrive here. The problem is that I need to arrive there with this freaking mapping, you know. So yeah. So I was on the right road, boys. So I do the switch, and I have my 0, 1. What I have 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are my locations. I can remove the default, which is not needed. So based on this, so here I say we ask it to remove. I switch on int, where the int is my body part. So I know that it is one of those. Then I need to search inside my but why I need to search it if I have it here already? I don't need to. I have it. I mean, I can't just go through this with my body part. Yeah. I have the body part already. Why I'm trying to do it again? I have my body part. Okay, so I know if it's torso, whatever. Because they gave me -1. Yeah. Because I need to restore the original one. Okay, I need to restore the original one. The original one is contained inside of this, and this one is the fucking mapping. Okay, good. Okay, fine. So I need to set a temporary variable which is mapping that shit. So let's assume that yeah, let's make a temp something. I think I had a temporary thingy. No, I think I can make it. Let's make a new, so temp vars. I think I wrote temp cars. Temp vars. So I need an ID, which I will call. I can duplicate this one. I will call temp body part ID. Temp body part ID. Okay. This one, the important point is that I set this one to be I need way more space here, boys. Way more space, like millions more space. Okay. Well, I can also go up, huh? I can go up a bit, but okay, here I need to set for each of this there are 6. Okay, 6. I need to set this mapping. Okay, very simply. I know it's stupid because we have hard coded the numbers, but it's fine. I mean, it's stupid, but it's okay. As long as it works, we don't care too much. And it's pretty quick. It's only a mapping of a number. So if we do it with strings, it will be much worse. I should do it with enumerations, but in this case, we are mapping 2 different things. So bear with me. Don't worry. Life will be nice. So the torso is actually 15 for whatever reason. The one is actually 14 for whatever reason. And the arms is actually 16. And so on. Okay. The arms is 16. The globes is 17. And the legs is 18. And the boots is 19. Okay. So in this way, we remapped the body part to the ID that we have in the texture ID, because unfortunately they're not the same, right? So now with this number, what I need to do, I need to do a for each, because I have two traits list, so I have to do it 2 times. Yeah, I think I need to do it 2 times. Okay, we can do it 2 times. It's not a problem. I can do a for each loop, right? My array will be this array, and I'm looping on the get traits, and I'm searching an element which has, so I think I need to break it, and I need to search an element which has I'm going to remove all of this, which has the mesh ID equal to this freaking number. So equal to temp body part ID, right? So when I find the element which is actually the right one, it means that I found in the original traits the skin tone that was below this armor. I found the skin tone that was below this thing, right? Which is the sandstone texture which I have to replace. So, yeah. So, what I need to do, so I have to branch. So if is equal, to this, the point is that then I have to also to do it with the linked traits. Can I merge the 2 arrays? I think it would be easier for me if I merge it and do 1 loop only. Can I add an array to another array? How do I merge? Is there a merge? No. Merge array? Can I merge 2 arrays of the same thing? No, I need to do a loop, and if I need to do a loop and add it, I mean it's the same. So I do 2 loops and it's the same. one by one. There's no blueprint. There's not a plus sign or something. Append. I knew they did it. Okay, so we can append array. Very nice. Okay, so we can. So I do one loop only, which is a bit better. So I put this. I do this. I go into my append array. So this is the first thing that we do. Then we loop. Obviously, this we do for everything. And then we do a loop on all the traits, okay? Because I'm searching the trait which has the same thingy, the same body part as a string mesh. Okay, if it's the same, finally we have our texture ID, this thing. And the texture ID is the one that we have to pass to we have to pass to what? No, we have to pass the name. We have a problem. We have a problem, and it's not easy to solve. You know that no, we can't just take the. We can just take. We can just take from the. Why? I don't understand. Why I don't have this? C string material, right? C string material. I think I need to print out this to see what it comes out, but in theory this one should already point to my C string material. We don't publish it. It is wrong, boys. It is very wrong. It is very wrong. It is very wrong. It is very wrong because in theory I should have. I want to see what. Okay, let's just test what it comes out of here because I'm getting confused. But I think that here I should have the mesh material. The problem is that for some reason the string mesh is in the database, but I think we are not passing it through the client inside the string. I think we are only passing the ID, hoping to get this value, but actually I did something pretty stupid here. So I used 14, 15, 16, 17. No, I mean not stupid, but I didn't finish the mapping because if this thing points properly to a texture, I should have $F head in my DT texture. I should not have 14 head, so I don't understand why I have this. But the funny thing is that it's working. I mean, at the loading time is working. So if I load the skin tone for this one, I think I'm using this one. Texture ID number 9. Number 9. Number 10. Fuck, I'm using this one. Okay, this one is correct. This one, I don't know. This one is just identifying. Yeah, this one is good because it's identifying which kind of mesh is applying to. Okay, fine. So the texture ID. So I find the mesh which corresponds to the body part that I want, and in that mesh I'm reading the texture ID. Perfect. We have it, boys. I think we have it. Perfect. So this one becomes the texture ID. So I need to pass this thing. So if this is false, I don't do anything. If this is true, I have to break the loop. I think there is a for each with break, no? For each loop with break. Yes, exactly. So I need to break the loop. What the hell? Do we have to take the first or the second? That's a good question. Is the append filling up the second or the first? Append an array to another array. Okay, that's pretty clear to me, but which is the array which is the array to add the source array to? What? Source array, target array, target array. Okay. So the first one, which is the target, is the one that is getting added. Okay, so it should go like this. So if I find it, I should break. Okay. It's a bit of a mess here, but can I? Let me do this. Otherwise, it's too messy. Okay. Or from the bottom. Maybe from the bottom is easier. I mean, it's nicer to see. So, what is this loop doing? So we are searching on all the traits and we are appending to one. We are searching the elements which has the body part that is the one that we want, okay? Because it means that the body part is the same as my temp body part here, assuming that I did the right mapping, but yes. Then when I find it, I break the loop, I go to completed. At this point, I have an array element. Yeah, I need to set this material ID to something. So I need to have another temp variable, which will be my. So let's do a duplicate temp material ID, right? Which is in the database. I hope it's this one, really. No, texture ID. I need texture ID. Texture ID. So temp texture ID. Okay. And I have to set this. So if it's true, if I found it, the first thing I need to do is to set the texture ID to this. Okay, so I found one and break. I found the element that matches in yeah. I think I need more space going up. I think like this is fine. Okay. So I do this, I break it, and I set it. Now, when this is completed, means I found my texture to substitute. Right? I found the texture. So at this point, this one should go through the same code, which is here, right? With the difference, so it should in theory go inside of this. The problem is that it should take as an input parameter should take as an input parameter yeah, exactly, instead of this texture ID should take this texture ID that I just found. How do I do it? I need to do another, at least this one I have to replicate, right? Otherwise it will never work. So I need to duplicate this one. I need to duplicate this one because this one I need a different parameter. And this one will have my temp texture ID, which will go into this. Why not? Yes. Didn't want to cast it twice, but it's okay. So this one goes here. The completed goes actually here. And maybe it is a bit messy. I can move it. Yeah, it's messy anyway, but I can move it down here. So the data table is set. The row name at this point is set. The row must be found, otherwise we are dead. But anyway, let's say that we find the row, and at this point we enter here. And the row texture. Ah, fuck! I have the same problem here. No. Wait. Let's just set. Let's just set the temp texture ID. Yeah, let's do it another way. Better way. We set our temp texture ID. We do the same here. We set the text temperature ID, and that's it. So I can use it in both cases. So wait. If this is different than -1. Hello? What happened? Hello, Take a Design. Thank you for the follow. So yeah, we need our temp texture ID going in. The only problem is that now I need to use here. So this is fine. I just need to disconnect this piece, and basically here, instead of using that, I use my get temp texture ID. Okay, so here in both cases, I'm using the variable, right? So it is correct all the time. Just have to be sure I do this, otherwise it will never be correct. And now I can call from the complete the same code, right? I think just to make it a bit nicer, I can try so. Okay, now I can call this part of the code up here. I can call this part of the code. Why this thing is going up so much? Why we decided to have this thing go up so much? Because I need this thing to be more down, so that I have more space for this, and I can do one big comment here, which will be the comment here is searches the default texture to apply. Search the default texture to apply to the body part where the item was removed. Where the armor, I can say armor, but I mean it could also be something else, but in general armor or cloth or a dress or whatever it is, where the item, let's say item, because it could be an item. So search the default texture to apply to the body part where the item was removed. So this is what this thing is doing. Okay. What's the project about? So we are converting our MMO. We have an MMO which is called Plane Shift, and we are converting it to Unreal Engine because the MMO was made with a very old engine, 3D engine, and we developed basically everything else on the server side and database and everything else, but the engine is not maintained anymore, and so we need to let's say we decided to convert it to Unreal Engine, and it was actually a very good decision, I think, because Unreal Engine is a very powerful engine, and is we can do a lot of stuff. So I'm moving the old code, which you can see here, in the old Visual Studio 2010, what it was. I'm moving it to Visual Studio 2017 and Unreal Engine. So the problem, so we are already in good shape, huh? Don't get too scared. I mean, we are not at the beginning. We are like in the middle of our effort. So we already converted a lot of stuff, and if you want to know more, you can just go to planeshift.it, which is our website, and here you can see the old game. So this site is all about the old game. There are just some mention on the news of Unreal Engine, but the game itself that you can download here is the old one, and there are some, and then you can check out our Discord and connect with us. By the way, if you want to support the project, there is a Patreon site where you can support the development. Yeah, it's a huge work. Consider that is millions of lines of code in the old one. I mean, it's like 2 million of lines of code. But obviously, most of that, well, not most, but a lot of that, let's say at least 40-50%, can be reused, and the rest can be converted to Unreal without too much code. So in fact, much of this is blueprints. Okay, I think we can test this. It should be insane, bro. But do you think any of this will work? I don't think so. It will work at the first run. But do we need some printouts? Well, we have this printout. Maybe we can put the body part. Well, the body part I think would be fine. We can print out if we found something. Okay, let's assume that this part works. Let's put maybe here a printf. I mean a print string. We can print the texture that we found. So the texture ID. So I need, unfortunately, to do this, I need also an append. And we can say found texture to replace, and then we can put here the number, we can put our temp texture ID. Right? And this append, then I will remove, as soon as it works, I will remove this printf, which is messing up the code. But and this will go here. So okay, let's see what happens, boys. I think I want to see what happens. I want to see if it goes through this or not. But so we connected, just to follow the cycle, 1 second. We connected the rep notify. So when I equip, yes, so here we arrive for sure. Okay, here we arrive. We have our body parts. For each of these body parts, we go into the set notify. The set notify is saying please remove that texture, right? And it goes here. It says okay, set the material body part with the texture -1. It's saying hey, it's -1. If it's -1, then do this. Search the default texture to apply. It does all of that. It does all this loop and stuff. It goes back and then it applies the same code that it does when we are keeping stuff. So all the rest should work exactly as expected. Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't know. Yeah, the game is this. It's also in the description. No, it's not in the description. Probably not. If you like scroll down, is not. Okay. It's not. I'm so noob. At this. I should put it in the description here. No, there is. You scroll down. There are only 2 small thingies, but there is our website, planeshift.it, and then there is also the YouTube channel link. So yeah, I'm not so noob. That is the link there. Okay, so let's see if it works. Or let's see if it does something. Because it works, I don't know, but it does something, probably yes. So on load, I don't want to see anywhere this printout. Okay, this found texture to replace should never happen when it's loading. Otherwise means that something is messed up. So we can check the logs on the server side and on the client side, and we can search for our found texture to replace. No, it's not finding it. It's not finding it. Okay, for now everything seems to be kind of fine. Now we're loading in. Yeah, the game was developed fully by volunteers during the years, and I mean, it's not a great game. It's not a great game, but considering it's done in the spare time, I think it's pretty cool, if I have to say. Hello, Taking Bite Voice Acting 1. What is that name? Hello. You want to do voice acting? We need voice acting. If you have a nice voice and you have one accent which is similar to the one that of our races, which is basically a lot of different accents. Maybe you can have one of our characters. We can have one of our characters have your voice. This is what I meant. Okay, so these two guys are here, right? They look the same, but they have just a different skin, right? One is a weapon, by the way. Careful. So I want to see if up to now that thing never printed. Okay, never printed. Fine. So at the moment we are doing okay. Now I will put on an armor, the only one I have. Boom. Let me see if the client by any reason printed out that line. No, it didn't. And it actually shows the armor replacing the texture of the base character, right? And now you are from Iceland. I don't know what is the accent of Iceland, but if you have a specific accent or not, but if it's close to any of the other accents we have associated, you can. I'm getting sleepy, sorry. It's 5 a.m. here. I think in Iceland also it's kind of late. You want to make your own Dragon MMO online game? Good luck, bro. I'm trying since 20 years. No, I'm joking. It's not 20. It's a bit more. No, good luck anyway. But you need a team, huh? You need a team. You need a team. You need a big team. Not a big team, but you need a team. Otherwise, it will not happen. But if by any chance you want to make our MMO, that would be easier. You already start from something that is made, so you can just join us. Yeah, then stick around and just now I remove this thing. Okay, it did not work as expected, but let me see if at least we went through that. Yeah, we went through that, but we didn't find a texture to replace. Why? Okay, so at least we went through that because it said server has to remove the texture, find texture to replace. So at least it's executing the right part of the code. Okay. Now, body part ID. Wait a second. Let's see. Texture ID. Did I do something stupid? No. The body part ID should be set. So in this case is our torso, right? Torso. So the number should be 0. So it should be coming here with should be coming here with 0, right? We switch on int, taking the body part, which is correct. So 0 we associate it to 15. We associate it to 15, okay? We set our temp body part. Then what do we do? Then we get the traits. Hopefully we have some. We loop on this array. On this array we take one element. We check if the mesh ID, yeah, I think it should be correct, which in this case would be 15, okay? And for our cran, let me go to our cran, because this is actually not the cran. Would be one of those, so 15 would be one of those. We'll go, for example, on, well, not for example, we'll go exactly on 32. So we'll go on, so 15, we'll give the texture 32. Texture 32 is raised torso mesh material 2. So this is where it should go. Now the problem is that it's coming out with a 0. That's pretty bad. It's coming out. So if I said if my mesh ID is equal to my body part 15, so it should be 15, yeah. Then if it's true, they set the temp texture to this texture, which should be actually 32, yeah. And then break, then complete, then print it out, temp texture ID, and it prints -1, this motherfucker. Why it prints -1? It should really not. This means he didn't find it. It didn't find this. Okay, so we need a bit more. Maybe we need a bit more printouts here. Okay, to understand what is happening. So we need to print. We need to print the mesh ID, I think, and we need to print. So let's do a nice append. We need to print the mesh ID. Let's put this printout maybe outside, so it's not messing too much. I want to print out the mesh ID and the texture ID for each of the loops. And I assume my body part, let's also print out the body part, okay? Let's print out also the body part, which in this case is my temp body part, which we just set there. Okay, let's try to do it again. We need to, but anyway, I think the logic is correct. I think maybe I did just some stupid mistakes, but the logic should be fine. Do I pay you for doing voice acting? No, I'm sorry, no. We are making it for free. You can join our Discord. We have a Discord if you want. If you go in planeshift.it and then chat, There is a Discord link. I can copy the Discord link. There is our Discord. If you want to connect with other developers or other players or anyone else. Okay, so I saved it and I'm going to restart it now. But no, sorry, I cannot pay you for the voice acting. We are just doing it for fun. I would like to pay you. If I had the money, I would like to pay. I mean, if the project had money to, But probably we would not pay for voice acting. We would pay for 3D models, textures. I mean, the graphical stuff. The graphical stuff is the hardest to get. Voice acting is a bit easier, but do you do voice acting as a job? I mean, is that your job? Or? Okay, let's see. Let's see what it prints out. Oh, so obviously it will not work because I didn't change the code, right? But I added some printout for us to understand. Look at that guy moving. Look at that guy moving. Huh? Feels alive, huh? What the frick? I jumped. Okay, so we're putting this on and we are removing it. Obviously it's not working as expected because I didn't change the code, but we should have way more printouts. So server asked to remove the texture. 00 body part 15. What is 00? What the hell? We have empty traits? Why we have empty? 00? No, 00 is very bad. Body part 15. Yeah, but body part 15 means I found it, bro. Body part? No, wait a second. No, body part just means that I came here with 0 and I arrived to body part 15. So I know that I have to take body part 15. Okay, nice. Then I go through this loop and for whatever reason I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 5 traits which are empty. That's kind of interesting. Why I have 5 traits which are empty? Anyway, who cares? And then I get only 1 trait which is 14, and obviously I'm not matching it. But 14 is 1, bro. No, it should be 0. What do you mean? Is the mapping wrong? I removed the torso, okay? I removed the torso. Wrap on torso texture is passing on the body part 0. Why? Why we have a 1410? 1410? Ah, because it's the header. Okay. Yeah, because I understand. It's 1410 because it's the header of the thing. Are there dragons? No, there are no dragons, but there are two creatures that are close to dragons. We have Megaras and we have pterosaurs, which are kind of two kind of dinosaurs or dinosaurs like that you can assimilate to a dragon somehow, but they are not exactly dragons. They are similar, but they are not exactly. We didn't want to have, the typical dragon game. Maybe you want. Yeah, a bit more like wyverns, yes. One is more for combat, the other one is more for transport. So one is more used to one is more adaptable to combat and the other to transports. Um, so I know why this is happening. This is happening because we have only the first trait loaded. So this means this is all good. This is all perfect. This is all perfect. But we have so I think that the thing is working, right? The problem is that the data that we are getting from the traits is not good. So the traits and the linked traits are not good. Are not loaded properly. Which is very strange because it's not the append doing a mess, or I don't think it's the append doing the mess, but because these traits are the one that we use to load the character, and the character is loads properly at the beginning. So okay, so we have an issue. We have an issue in this variable. Is not loaded. Is not loaded properly. Is not loaded properly. Is not loaded properly at all. You see? Set trait for location. So in theory it is storing all the traits in these linked traits. I don't know if you are going through this though before because set trait for location, I need to see when we load the character again. So if we go back to the character loading, I think this is where we do the magic. So we load the character, which is inside PS character load, and PS character load. Yeah. Will you help me to make a game? I can. I mean, if you ask question, I can suggest. Yeah, I can suggest you, but I cannot work for you to make a game. I already have a game to make, and I cannot make another one really. But if you have questions on Unreal, or if you have questions in general, I can definitely answer. There's no problem. But consider that making a game is pretty complex. The last phrase you wrote makes me think that you never made a game, maybe, which is okay, but you have to consider that making a game is pretty complex. If it's a complex game, if it's an MMO, I mean, if it's like a simple arcade game, okay. But if it's an MMO, there is a lot of stuff going on that you have to build. Yeah, Skyrim is very nice. Yeah, Skyrim mod is good. I mean, you get the game for free. I mean, you get all the basics for free, and you just add on top. So that's kind of easy. But if you have to make Skyrim from scratch, you know, that's the real thing. That's what we are doing. Apart from the fact that we have Unreal Engine, but okay, so we are loading the traits here somewhere, right? I want to know why my traits are not set properly, because I'm pretty sure that here in load traits, okay, so we go here, load traits, we can go to definition, right? We are selecting from blah blah blah, and then we are doing this trait for location. So trait for location is the one that is setting all the linked traits. So yeah, so it should work okay. I mean, the code is doing what it should do. Now, why is coming up empty? Why is coming up empty? That's the problem. Is it because it's a pointer to something? No, it is not a pointer. Okay, let's debug this thing. Okay, I think when we load our character, we should go through this. I'm pretty sure we go through this. I don't understand why it's empty. I'm so surprised that it's empty. I'm so surprised that it's empty. I mean, for sure it goes through this code. I mean, it should. I'm pretty convinced it goes through this code. Spyro modes? I don't know. I never did Spyro modes, but Spyro is a very nice game. I really played it a lot on PlayStation. It's very fun. I mean, if you mean Spyro the Dragon, but yeah, I think you do. It's a very fun game. Okay, so we launched the server in debug mode, and we launch the client normally. Now it will call that function a million times for all the NPCs. So maybe I can disable the breakpoint until the server loads. Otherwise, we will hit this continuously. But let's see if we hit him at least once when the server is loading, which I think we should. When the server is spawning, it's still loading up, but yeah, Spyro was a very nice game. It was very funny, very smooth, you know, very easy to play. It didn't go through this. It's interesting. Still loading, maybe. I'm a bit surprised that it didn't go through this. Why? Okay, I don't know. I don't know why it didn't go through that. I mean, the server is loading all the characters. It's loading all the NPC. I mean, unless the NPC. Yeah, the NPC are using another part of the code, I think. Probably is that. Could be. Okay, let me see. Okay, now we should see if it stops, huh? When we load in and we click on this, it's not going through that code at all. It's not going through that code at all. Now. Okay, when I click on play, okay, fine. When I click on play, it's going in and it's loading my character. It's loading the traits of my character. So the first thing that it does, he empty the array. Okay, fine. Then he's trying to search on these traits, and this traits is UID 181 and next trait 182. 181. I don't know why he started from the second one. No, 180. 180, 181. Okay, it's correct. It's correct. So we start from 180. He's checking if there is a next trait. Next trait is there, so you should go here and you should add, right? You should add all the traits. And in fact, it seems that it's doing it. So if I look now at linked traits, we have 5 traits loaded. Let me just check the texture ID. ID material is 0. ID material is 0 in the first one. In the second one is always 0. ID material is 0 for everything. Why? Why ID material is 0? ID material, ID mesh. Did I mess up this little thing is? I think we need to use ID mesh. Because ID material is always 0. Yeah. I think we found the issue, boys. We found the issue. So where I'm using ID, I'm using already ID mesh. I'm already using ID mesh. I'm not using ID material. I'm using ID mesh. Why is 0 then? It was loaded properly there. So here I added all the things to this character. I don't know which is this character, but it's me. I mean, this character is me 100%. Right? I added all the traits. And I added all my traits. And then I go here, I do traits. What is this last thing doing? Traits, location, equal to traits. Okay. It is only the first one. It is the first one. Which is fine. Well, actually, it's storing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's storing all the 6. It's storing the first into trades and then the other 6 into linked trades. So that is perfect. It is perfect. Why is not replicating? That's the question. Why is not replicating that value on the client? Why is not replicating it? So I printed 3 numbers. The first 2 are mesh ID and texture ID. Mesh ID and texture ID. And this guy actually is sensing I think I cleaned it. Okay, I have to launch it again. Fuck. But anyway, it was sensing one, which was the 14, right? The log was saying that the 14 was there, which is the first one. So the first, this one is sensing it okay. The other ones is not. It's like if we're all 0. I'm really surprised. I don't understand why we don't have our traits properly replicated client side when the variables are replicated. I have my accessor methods. I'm reading it on the client side. I could read it on the server side, but I mean, it denies a bit the concept of having the replication. I removed the breakpoint. I removed the breakpoint. Oh, the breakpoint is still here. Okay, it's loading this stuff. I should replicate it like a boss. Did he print it already or no? No, because we are printing out only when it's -1, right? Yeah. What are these warning that we get? Fail to find object material instance race mesh torso. What the hell? Is he speaking of me or is he speaking of some NPC, some random NPC guy? I don't know if he's speaking of me. $race torso chainmail material. Can't find. Why $race? Why is not replacing this with the race name? That's weird. That's kind of weird. That also I will have to check what is going on. If I put it on, everything is fine. When I remove it, I get this output. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries. Why get 7 entries for this? Is strange, boys. Why I get 7 entries? Should we print it all and see what it is? At least the name. Let's print at least the name. Just to see if it's populated, because it seems that it's completely empty. It seems that this trait is not working. Apart from the 14 one, all the others are not working. Let me just check if I'm returning the right, but I think I am. But let me just to be sure. If I do get linked traits, get linked traits, maybe I have a mistake there. Get linked traits is returning a TRA of is the trait cons, get linked traits, No, it cannot be anything else than this. I mean, it's as simple as that. Let me print the name and see what happens. Let me print also the ID. I want to print also the UID. Print also the UID. The UID will tell me much. I mean, if there is no even UID, done, bro. It's done. Okay, then I really need to go. And it's starting to be kind of stupidly late. I think this is the last test, and then I'm going. Okay, so let's put it on and remove it and see what our client is saying. Everything is empty. It's not replicating. It's not replicating anything. The only one that is getting replicated is the main trait. All the others are not getting replicated. Why? Is there anything else I have to set? Let me check. Maybe there is. So here I set it as replicated. Okay, so I set this linked traits, which is exactly the same variable, to replicate it on APS character. The same I do for traits. So these two should have exactly the same definition somehow. You know, the same should be defined exactly the same way. It's exactly the same. They are identical. Why? Why the second one is empty? Considering it's getting loaded, because I checked, we checked together, and there was this trait set trait location. He's executing that. So it's executing set trait for location. It was setting properly the 5 traits plus 1. I don't understand. The only reason could be that these are actually pointers. These are FP trait pointers, and for some reason this is getting deallocated after. But I should get as a result garbage, not real values, right? So just for fun, I can try to fill in a random array with real values and see if they arrive in the right location, because I don't know if this pointer to next trait and next trait is getting deleted is the problem. Okay, boys, it's too late. I will think about it. I think we have fixed the client side, but the server side here is still has an issue. It's not passing. It's not replicating properly my links, my linked traits. It's not working as expected. So, or mm, or I change this. Not to be a pointer, but just to be an array. But I can change it to a linked list of actual objects, because I think this is getting deallocated somehow, and I'm losing this. Maybe a bit stupid, but I think this is the only explanation that comes to my mind, because for the rest it should be fine. The values were available. I don't know. Also, this loop works perfectly. I don't know. Boys, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, for subscribing and following. Yes, I did. And see you soon.